Hi guys, I'm Kim and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I am here today to start off the January 2023 budget with me plan. So I cannot believe that we are here in January already. I've decided to change things up a little bit with my budget. I've removed some of the lines from the top of my budget and added a lot more into my sinking funds to try and get the most out of our budget, because things are changing for us. If you haven't seen my most recent video, you won't know that we are currently 14 weeks pregnant, expecting a baby boy in July 2023. So we are very, very excited, but because of this, things are going to change for us and how we do things. So the first thing that we're going to be doing is really looking at our debt and consolidating it. So we currently have a mortgage with a fixed and fixed and variable portion and 2 car loans. And what we're doing is we're going to group all that together into one debt payment, which is going to reduce our monthly outgoings and give us more disposable income for when I finally go on to maternity leave. So yeah, we're currently in the process of doing that, and we are just waiting on the settlement. So we've signed all the paperwork, it's just waiting now. And yeah, like I said, we've added a lot more sinking funds to our budget because it seemed to work for us, and I really wanted to try something new. So if that is something that interests you and you want to see how we're changing things up for 2023, then keep on watching. So as per previous videos, I get paid monthly and Ben gets paid weekly. Some months there are 4 Wednesdays in a month, other months there are 5 Wednesdays in a month. January 2023 happens to be a 4 pay month for Ben. So this month we plan to bring in $9,340 for the month. So I'm just going to talk you through our budget lines. So this debt section is currently in the process of changing. We're refinancing our debt to just have one payment, and we are like literally days away from settlement for that going through. So what I've done is I have actually put this figure here as what the old figures will be, and then I'll put the actual at the end of the month, and then moving forward on the other month budgets once we actually know exactly what the payments are going to be with the consolidation. So the reason that we made the decision to do that was because if you have seen my most recent video, you will know that we are pregnant and we're having a baby boy due in July, and I'm going to be taking maternity leave. So we just wanted to, like I said, refinance, reshuffle, look at the big picture and work out the best way to have the most disposable income as we can during my maternity leave period. Plan to put $40 extra into my super, $40 extra into Ben's super. We're going to invest $50. We plan to spend $80 on electricity, $100 on gas, $60 on water, $200 for our council rates, $240 on our Foxtel and internet, $126 on my phone, nothing on Ben's phone because we are still massively in advance, so I've delayed another month's worth of payments. For our health insurance, that'll be $84. Home and contents is $127.25. My car insurance is $56.75. Ben's car insurance is $70.74. My car registration is $46.66 and Ben's car registration is $46.66 also. Now, as for our subscriptions, we have allowed $17.99 for Canva, $6.99 for Amazon Prime, $14.99 for Apple iCloud, $4 for OnePass, $11.99 for Google Play, $15.99 for Netflix, $11.99 for Spotify, $14 for Stan, and $15.95 for Xbox. Now, the daily living expenses and the rest of the budget has got a lot smaller, purely because you will see a little bit further down I have added a lot more sinking funds, because the last year of consistently budgeting has taught me that I can do better. I can break things down better. I didn't like having a miscellaneous line because it was really hard to break down and see exactly where you were spending the money. So I went back through the past 12 months of budget and I looked and I broke it down into categories. So you'll see that further down. But what I have done is allowed $250 for fuel, $1,150 for groceries, and household. So that now includes things like washing detergent, dishwashing liquid, cleaning products, all those like toilet paper, those sorts of essentials. $300 for dine out and takeout. I did contemplate upping this because we always seem to blow it, but I'm going to leave it at that because I'm determined to try and do something right. We'll see what happens. $150 for entertainment and $934 for splurge. So the splurge is 10% of our total income, and that just gets split between the two of us for no questions asked spending money for the month. So that is a total expenses for the month of $6,677.95. So that gives us an overall remaining amount to split between the sinking funds of $2,662.05. So now we're going to move on to the sinking fund portion, and this is where it gets fun. So you can see here that I've added a lot more lines. So the major goal and line that we currently have is my maternity leave. So we want to have $20,000 set aside for my mat leave. So that way we'll have the 20 grand for mat leave. I get 3 months of pay from work as well as what we get from the government. So this will sit just below what an annual income will be for me. So hopefully we won't have to compromise on our lifestyle too much during that time that I have off. The emergency fund is at 15 grand, but we currently have $10,322.27 in there because if you saw my previous videos, you will know that my little doggy needed ACL surgery and it came out of the emergency savings fund. But you will see further down that I have now added a line for dog medical because I've learnt that those costs can come up and I'd rather have some savings there rather than all of it coming out of my sinking fund. So a big goal of ours is to really build that back up as much as we can before our baby comes. Now the nursery fund, it was completely full and I currently have $1,393.16 left in that fund, and we have done pretty much most of the big expensive shopping, so this just has to cover little bits and pieces as they pop up between now and July. There is potential that my husband, I was supposed to be going as well, but due to the baby not now appropriate, but my husband might be going to Thailand later in the year, so we're going to put money towards that trip. So that will be $5,000, but we currently have nothing in there because it's not really set in stone yet, so we can redirect things as required. We currently have $190.54 in the gifts fund. I'd like to, throughout the year, kind of maybe build it up to about $500 to draw down on. I'll just keep adding a little bit every month. Car maintenance, currently have $1.50, plan to have about $1,500 worth of expenses this year. $1,200 for Christmas, probably won't even start saving for that until about the middle of the year. Currently have $381.41 in miscellaneous. Now, ideally I'd love to get rid of this line because I feel like I have added enough other categories in that miscellaneous won't really be needed at the moment. But I'm going to leave it for now and I'm going to run with it for a few months and see whether I still end up using that line. So I have a medical line that currently has $103.22 in it. We have spent a lot on medical in the last 6 months due to pregnancy loss and currently being pregnant again. So we're just going to keep chipping away at adding money to that for when those doctor's bills and things come in. And the rest of the things are all brand new. So we would like to save $1,000 towards dog medical. Have like a buffer of like $500 for home improvements. So, when we want to do those little things around the house, it's nice to know that we've got some funds there that are allocated to it. About $500 for clothing. We will have an annual credit card fee of $279. Dog grooming, about $200. So our dogs get groomed every 6 weeks, and that will also be their food. So every month I just want to put some money towards it, so I know that I'll have money sitting there. Personal grooming, so I like to get my nails done and lashes and hair, and Ben likes to get like beard trimmed and haircuts and bits and pieces. So when I'm dividing up my sinking funds, I'll just add little bits to this to just keep totaling it up. But it would be nice to, as a minimum, always have about, $200 to $250 in these sorts of categories. $200 for the garden for any plants or weed killers or fertilizers or anything like that we might need. And then these are costs that come up every single year that I've put a date next to that I would like to have that amount sitting aside ready for it. So when our ambulance cover comes, I want to have 183. When the roadside assistance, that's 150. Emergency services levy is 102. Our annual dog registration is $90, and the Ring doorbell subscription that stores all of our files is $49.95. So yes, that is a large number of what we plan to save. I'm not saying we're going to save all that this year because I really don't think it's possible, but we are almost halfway there, and we're going to try and smash out as much as we can between now and when the baby comes. But as it stands, we currently have $23,650 in our sinking funds account. So yeah, let me know whether or not you like what we've done with the sinking funds. It's definitely something new, and I'm going to try it and experiment with it, and every month I will update you and sort of let you know how we're going and how I feel about how the funds are working for us and whether I need to add more, get rid of some, or change things up. Okay, so that is it. That is my January plan for 2023. I'm very excited to share that with you, and I'm excited to report back at the end of the month to see how things went with the new tactic, and hopefully that loan gets approved and goes through nice and quickly and easy, and we can start making those smaller repayments and start really adding money to fill all those sinking funds. Anyway, as always, if you liked this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below and ring that little bell. That way you'll get notified of my videos in the future. And also, if you did like the budget spreadsheet that I was using, I do have a version of that available in my Etsy store for a small fee, so I will leave that linked down below. If you want me to update it to reflect what the one that I'm using at the moment looks like a little bit more, then do let me know. But there is a YouTube video on this channel that will talk you through the budget template that I have for sale. And yeah, hopefully you find it helpful. Anyways, until next time, bye guys.